popular demand. It's Dr. Fantastic Cooks, and it's a fantastic day in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, and I'm going to do a little cooking, and it's live, so the phone lines are open, +2 01 09 180 75 84. That's the number to call in, and we're going to do some cooking today. And I'm going to cook lamb stew. Why am I cooking lamb stew? Because a lady friend of mine gave me a hunk of lamb. And like when I was in the mountains of Idaho, and they gave me a hunk of bear, I made bear stew. But and I also made Hungarian goulash a couple weeks ago. It was delicious. And of course it is winter now, so it's a great time for stews. But the meat wasn't so fantastic, but the stew was delicious. So I said the next stew I made was just a vegetable stew, vegetable soup, whatever you want to call it, without the meat, and it was off the rocks delicious. And I wanted to kind of prove a point. I basically was so lazy that day, it was hilarious. I took the potatoes unpeeled and the carrots, I just threw everything in a bunch of water, boiled the hell out of it, and then of course, I did a little more than that, but it came out fantastic. So cooking is fun. It's not a science like baking. You gotta have fun with it, and so we're gonna have some fun today. So again, it's lamb stew, and it's all about having the right tools. Like any construction, the right tools. And of course, one of the tools you need. Let me get my tool out, because if you've been following my episodes, I always recommend having a cocktail when you're cooking, because if it doesn't come out well, you don't mind. This is 15% beer, so this is a live episode, and by the time this is done, I'll be on the floor, because it's really powerful stuff. You gotta catch a buzz now and again. It's a hot day in Sharm. Not the best temperature for a stew, but I just love eating. And when someone gives you a beautiful piece of lamb shoulder, by the way. Now, rack of lamb, oh, I love rack of lamb. I can't wait to find it here. And filet mignon. I bought a filet mignon, and I cooked it for you guys last week. And it's cheaper than the regular stuff they sell here, because they don't know that there's a thing called filet mignon here. And it's like, oh my God, it's so delicious. And they don't know it, so I'm not going to tell them. So, again, let's get back to tools. I was peeling my potatoes, I'm peeling my carrots with a knife, and you got to know that you're wasting 20%. You don't want to waste food. You don't want to waste energy. You don't want to waste anything. You don't want to waste your time either. So, I bought a potato peeler, and it's pretty cool. Look, it's got a smiley face on it. Isn't that cute? And so it just saves time, and it also saves the vegetables. You have more food. It's good to have more food. Now, again, equipment. Having the right pans and the pots and the utensils. And I've been traveling a lot, 578 days now. And I left all my goodly, worldly possessions, gave them away, gave the car away, gave the yacht away, gave everything away. And I left with my favorite knife. I literally traveled through 22 states and 18,000 miles with my favorite knife and my favorite fork, which is here someplace, and I lost my favorite spoon. Shit happens. And I just realized that the best restaurant here, I spent 800 pounds on a great restaurant a couple weeks ago. And they had plastic. I said, I can't eat this great meal with plastic. They did bring me out some silverware. So I know now when I go there next to bring my favorite knife and fork. Speaking of knives and forks, when you cook, you want to have a sharp knife. Now, how do you sharpen a knife? There's a great song by Harry Belafonte about that. But so I found a stone. This is a granite stone. You find a smoother edge. Should always away from you. You should always go away from you if you can, But when you're there, you go. How's that? That's towards me. Anyway, I didn't buy a knife sharpener, which is going to end up in a landfill. It's the third commitment is about saving energy, saving the planet. consuming less. So I saved some money, but I also didn't fill up a landfill with the old knife sharpener. So you want to trim off a bit of the fat. I like fat on my meat. I think it's gives it a lot of flavor. So you want to trim off a little of the fat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this lamb into 1-inch pieces. And I'm going to braise them in hot oil. You always want to cut away from yourself. I'm not doing that right now. So don't do as I do as I say. One time I was working on my yacht and I had a knife and I was cutting a cable. And I cut the cable and I cut into my leg this long, about that deep. It was nasty. And as a MacGyver, I'm all by myself. Got to go to the hospital, but I'm bleeding like a sif. And what am I going to do? So luckily I had some duct tape, and I taped my leg up until I got to the hospital. Got some stitches and things. But you can't let things that you have no control over upset you. I would have probably been smarter to cut away. I didn't. It was a mistake. Learn by my mistakes, by the way. But shit happens, right? So the other day, this is my favorite cup. It's been with me a couple years now. It's in there. Been with me a couple years. It's a fantastic cup, but fork, knife, spoon, and cup. Very few things I traveled with. And it fell down and broke. I'll fix it. This is only 2 pieces with super glue. But did I go, ooh, oh, I broke it? No! You can't let things upset you. So don't let anything upset you in life. Running out of beer, that's upsetting. But don't let it upset you. Oh, cold beer. Another thing that's fantastic is traveling around. I don't have a can opener or a bottle opener. Luckily, they're making things with pop tops. Great. This is tomato paste, part of the recipe tonight. And you pop it open and you lift it out. Now, in the old days, there you go, the beers that we bought in America had a little one of these on top of the beer. And America was filled, like it is with cigarette butts now, filled with these little pop tops laying all over the street. One at a time, just like the 4.7 trillion cigarette butts that get thrown out there, one at a time. And so they invented the pop top. Now you just pop it open and push it down, and it's fantastic. So we're going to have a little tomato paste. The ingredients are, again, the shoulder of lamb. Okay, shoulder of lamb. And again, one of the things I talk about is having your meal come out at the right time. Now, I'm not having any but rack of lamb today. You know, that's not a very big piece of meat. It was nice of her to give me a nice piece of meat, but there's not much meat on it. Am I upset? No, it's a gift. You know, there's very little meat on this thing. It'll be interesting to see if I get any meat on this thing. Well, there's a pound of it. So it's going to be a very small. I'm cooking for one anyway, so. But it's a shoulder. So I'm going to trim off. There's a bone here. Isn't that a shame they sell you the bone? You're not going to eat the bone. But they sell you the bone. So it really, when you're trimming off meat off a bone, you really want to have a sharp knife for that. And when you're filleting fish, you want to have a sharp knife. The only dangers of having a sharp knife and drinking beer along with it is you're going to eventually, if you're not real careful, cut yourself. And then a little blood in the soup is not going to hurt anything. Not going to hurt anything. Oh, but lamb is very, very delicious. Now, the trick of this, of course, is going to be to sear it in hot oil. Like I said that earlier. And then I'm going to take it out of the pot. Should have bought some lamb. I don't think they have lamb at the market. I didn't realize there was going to be that little meat on it. Yeah, that's a meal. You know, there's a pound of meat there. It'll work out. Always think positive. Again, I want to put more potatoes, you know, another ingredient, potatoes and carrots. So there'll be more potatoes and carrots than meat, which is fine. I'll just have to be a vegetarian for the night. My son is a vegan. A lot of vegans out there. So I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I don't know what time you're watching this, but you know, right now it's the middle of the night in America, so maybe they'll watch it tomorrow. And if only one person watches this and enjoys it, that's okay. Because I love talking to myself. Okay, so this would be great for a dog. The second commitment is being kind to others, including God's creatures. So a kind thing to do, and there's lots of wild dogs in this area, is to give this bone, which has meat on it. I mean, I imagine in a lot of countries, this would be a meal. They would put this in a pot of water, boil it, and put more vegetables in it, and it would give it the meat flavor. Today, I had to search hard and wide for beef bouillon, which, by the way, I got to. By the way, this 5-gallon tub of water costs 15 pounds. That's $1. Okay, and then I saw the other day, and you know, it's a lot of plastic, which is terrible. So I saw the other day someone filling up 2 of them out of a big truck. So I go imagine how much that costs. Reusing, not recycling, is so important. And again, that's commitment number 3, being kind to the environment. Now I'm going to give the fat to the dog too, because a little fat, healthy for the dog. So be kind to the environment, be kind to all others, including God's creatures. Consume less. Very important to consume less. Imagine if everyone's bought half as much Pepsi as they do. Pepsi is a big contributor to waste because of all the plastic bottles. Okay, just as an example, reuse. This is an old coffee container. And I'm saving it because now, instead of throwing it in the waste, it's glass. It'll be a great little container for maybe pickling some more cucumbers, which I did give up that recipe recently. Pickling cucumbers. They're called pickles after you cook. So right now I'm cutting the meat into pieces, cubes. I'm going to fry them up nice and brown them. Then I'm going to take them out of the pot and brown and saute the onions. Then I'll put some tomato paste in there. And I'll put the other ingredients. Got cumin. It calls for bay leaves. Of course, I couldn't find bay leaves. And I will challenge someone, a professional chef, that you take 2 dishes, one lamb stew with bay leaves and one without. I will challenge any chef in the world to say which one is which. I mean, it's got to make some difference, or they wouldn't have it, right? But I mean, come on. If you don't have bay leaves, it's not like the dish is ruined. And I'm going to put garlic in it. I love garlic. If you don't like garlic, don't put it in it. You know? If you don't like potatoes, don't put potatoes in it. Put the things you like in it. I'm going to show you how to peel a garlic. It's kind of fun. I think I gave you the secret to peeling or gutting a lobster last week. That's a pretty amazing thing to see if you haven't seen it before. Okay, so I've pretty much cut all the lamb into pieces. Now after you've browned it and you put it back in the pot, you're going to sprinkle some flour on it as a thickening agent. So with this amount of meat, about a pound of meat, I'm going to put in 4 carrots, 3 potatoes. I'm going to put in about 4 cups of bouillon. Excuse me, I'm heating the water right now. Heating the water so I could, this is how much water. See, I don't measure anything. You don't have to measure anything. Okay. And then I'm going to put some beef bouillon in there. Right, there we go. 1, 2, let's go with 3. Okay? Now, let's put the beef aside. And I'm going to cut up the onions. Are you having fun watching this? Cooking is so much fun, you know. From the start of COVID, when I started my trip 578 days ago, and that's the reason I started the trip, because COVID, they told me to stay at my house, and I said, no one tells me what to do. And I said, cook, learn how to cook, teach your children how to cook, get the family in the kitchen preparing and enjoying and cooking. And sure enough, they listened to me. Okay, now, interesting about an onion, cut off the top and the bottom. And what you do with an onion is you go like this, and it takes one little layer off like that, you see? Then you just peel off the rest like that. Look at that. The secrets to cooking. So that was one layer. Again, like that. I'm just not thrilled with the produce in Egypt. Sorry, guys. Not thrilled with it. Not thrilled at all. And I don't like to waste any kind of food. So that's like 1/3 of the onion just in the outer layer there. You just want to get rid of the hard stuff there. Okay, so that's trash. And you're going to saute. I'm going to saute the onions after I do the beef. Okay, so the beef. You're going to take a pan. You're going to put some oil. They say 1 tablespoon of oil. Every recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of oil. Give me a break. How can you fry anything in 1 tablespoon of oil? I'm going to say there's 2 tablespoons right there. How do you fry anything in 1 tablespoon of oil? I don't know. Now this stove here, it's got a high and a low. That's about it. So it's a challenge. So the bouillon is defrosted. You see how it tastes? Delicious. Okay, so the bouillon's ready. Onions. Any kind of food you're gonna chop up. The secret is to keep your fingers away from the edge of the knife, especially after you sharpened it. So you're going to grab it like this, and you're going to slice it, or slice it between your fingers. Just don't slice your fingers off. And there we go. The onions are going to pretty much fall apart, so it doesn't really matter the size. Now, I was in a very expensive restaurant talking to the head chef, and he was like bragging. He was going like this. Look, I'm chopping up garlic without looking. If you put your fingers in like this, anybody can do that. So here's the secret to taking the skin off of a garlic. You put it down there, you put your knife on top of it, and you smash it. And that just takes the skin right off. Very easy. There's 2 of them there. And it is ready to put in the pot. Now it says minced. I'm going to take some of them. I'm going to mince some of them. And I'm going to put whole ones in. And it's all going to fall apart after a couple hours of cooking. Now, after... Oh, don't forget the pot. Okay, so I almost forgot. Okay, by the way, before you put the meat in there, you want to salt and pepper. That's all you really need to start. Now that oil is very hot because I forgot about it. You know, the camera going, the booze flowing, you know, you're going to make mistakes. I boiled eggs the other day and forgot about them. And you know there's an egg warning that happens after when you boil an egg and you forget about it and all the water's gone. It goes, pow! It explodes. So eggs are done. Okay, so again, I had to buy, what did I break? I had to buy utensils. You gotta cook, you have to have some things. Okay, that's nice and hot. Perfect. I'm going to do two rounds of the searing because you want to you don't want to have the meat on top of itself while it's searing. You want to be able to turn it and get all sides seared, nice and seared. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, where am I? Sorry about that. You know, I don't have a perfect kitchen here because I'm a bachelor, I'm traveling, and I'm drinking. Hope you're enjoying this. Actually, I hope it's on. Let me check. Yeah, it says it's been rolling for 22 minutes. Okay. Again, you're going to sear it, nice and brown. Then you're going to saute the onions, tomato paste in there, some wine. Did I tell you about the wine? It's called 365. I was going to drink wine tonight with the dinner. Well, I am going to drink wine tonight for dinner because it calls for a cup of wine. And I haven't bought a bottle of wine. This is $10. Which is for me splurging, which basically is a week's meal, a week's eating, one bottle of wine. But for you guys, I went to the extra special to make you guys a fantastic show tonight. I decided to get some wine. And again, it calls for wine, but do you need to put wine in? No. Are you an alcoholic and you can't drink? Okay. Don't put the wine in. It's simple as that. Let me get a taste of the wine here. This wine here, this bottle here, I've been carrying for me for over a year. It's about a $300 bottle of wine. You can't buy it if you wanted to. And I'm waiting for a special occasion to enjoy that with someone. Are you that special someone? Here's to cooking. No, no, no. Now, one of the things I do when I'm cooking, and I cook breakfast every day, is at the last minute while I'm cooking, I turn the stove off. Because it's good. It's a hot pan. Right now, this is still cooking, even though it's off the fire. It's a hot pan. What is it? What am I doing? I'm conserving energy. It's like turning the water off while you're brushing your teeth. We must conserve energy. Okay, second half going in. Now, the reason you use the same pot is because now the onions are going to have a great little flavor to them because they get the juices from the meat. This is going to be delicious. Okay, where was I? I'm a two-fisted drinker. Life is worth living. I might die tomorrow. At least I went out with a buzz today. I see the phone's ringing off the hook with callers asking questions. Don't buy wine in Egypt. Sorry, Egypt. I need to tell you that. Let me show you what the Can you see that? I have no idea if I'm even on camera, by the way. What happens when you're working all by yourself in a foreign country with no camera assistance? That's life. Again, should you let anything upset you? Did I let losing my wallet and my money and my visa upset me? Did I lose? Did I get upset losing my passport on the way to the visa office to report it lost? No! You can't let shit upset you. You can't. You can't let people, weather, crowds, work. You can't let stuff upset you because you're letting it upset you. See, now it's still cooking. Well, they didn't turn it off, but it's still cooking. It's off the fire. It's still cooking. And if I had shut the fire down, I would be saving energy. But it is what it is. Now, how am I doing, everybody? Hot in the kitchen. The only drawback is it gets hot in the kitchen. That's all. But eating, I've been eating for over 60 years. It's a habit of mine. I got to do it 3 times a day. I eat when I'm not hungry because it's so much fun. The lady friend that brought this lamb to me, she cooked me. Oh my God! She dropped some dishes off for me. And people are just kind. She's pretty kind. Oh my God! It was so delicious. She made a casserole that was off the charts. Okay, so the meat is now brown. Take it off. Put it aside. Sure. I don't cook anything without onions. Hopefully you like onions because it gives so much flavor to everything. So there's a lot of bits there, and I'm going to put a little bit more oil because it's mostly juice now. I bought a new oil today. You can use olive oil. Now, see that top there? That's landfill shit. Damn it. Why can't people just invent stuff that doesn't have to go in the landfill? Reusable, not recyclable. And by the way, you don't want to... Garlic cooks very, very, very fast. You actually want to put it in a sauce, not by itself. I mean, unless you cook it very, very fast, you know. So I'm going to mince a little bit of the garlic, but most of it I'm just going to put in whole. Because when I'm eating a stew, and I get a nice piece of garlic that's cooked, it's like, you know, they pickle garlic. The pickled garlic is delicious. I'm cooking this on a very high heat. You should probably turn it down a little bit, because I forgot it the first time. Hey, have fun in the kitchen. Okay, so we got the garlic. Let me mince just a little bit of it. What I do is I cut it lengthwise. Then I turn it with my knuckles in, skin off, and chop, 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 chop. Lengthwise, about 8 cuts. Turn it, knuckles in. Okay, now the garlic is done. Now with the carrots, I'm going to do about half inch. Excuse me, while I turn the onions. Again, 1 whole onion, 4 carrots, potatoes, same thing. I'm going to make it. I'm going to put the potatoes in last because they cook faster than everything else. So after about an hour of cooking the meat, I'm going to boil the meat, and the carrots take a long time, so they're going to go in before that. And then you want to make sure that the onions are caramelized. Whew. Cheers. Damn shame about the wine here. This is $10. That's a lot of money. $10. Okay, where was I? The carrots look pretty funny here. In America, they're long and thin. Here, they are triangles. I hope you're learning something. If not, I hope you're being entertained. Okay, so that looks like about right. So I'm going to take a tablespoon of, I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm going to take a cup of wine. This is about half a cup. So I'm going to put I'm going to put 3 of those in, just because it is what it is. I'm going to put the broth in. It's going to come to a boil. I'm going to put the carrots in because they need to boil a lot. They need to boil a lot. Okay, then we're going to put a tablespoon of black pepper, cumin. I'm going to put a tablespoon of paprika, a heaping tablespoon because I like paprika a lot. See that? Heaping tablespoon of paprika. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm sorry. I always forget something. Flour. Flour is a thickening agent. I should have put it on top of the meat, but listen, it all goes in the same spot, so I'm just going to take a little handful of powder of flour, sprinkle it in there. It all goes in the same spot. Again, have fun in the kitchen. You know, people go, oh, you're not a professional chef. You didn't do that right. You didn't take this step. I didn't say I was a professional chef. I said I was a great chef. I said I was a chef that loves cooking and loves eating. And believe me, my recipes are killer. Killer. My pizza recipe will be the best pizza you ever ate in your life. I guarantee it. 30 years of making it for guests. And maybe they all like me. Okay. Tablespoon of cumin. I'm not going to overdo it in the cumin because I'm not sure how dangerous that stuff is. It calls for bay leaf, calls for parsley trimmings. I don't have parsley. Oh, that's delicious already. That is delicious. So that's good news. Maybe I put a little bit too much wine in, but how can you put too much wine in? Okay, I'm going to put the garlic in now because it's not going to burn. Nobody likes burnt garlic. Okay. Garlic is in. The only thing that needs to go in now is potatoes. That won't go in for another hour. I'm going to boil that, then simmer it. Boil it for a good amount of time. This is really good, by the way. Oh my goodness. Oh. It's delicious. That's a meal right there. I mean, lamb chops, rack of lamb. Fantastic. What can I tell you? And you can't use leg of lamb. Leg of lamb is fantastic too if you cook it right. You can't use leg of lamb in this recipe. It won't come out right. Okay, that looks very, very nice. Now, there's nothing wrong with throwing the bone in there and getting more flavor. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that. What the hell? Because you don't want to give a dog a bone and have him get sick because it's raw. So the bone is going to give it more flavor. It's not baking. Baking is so precise. You can't have too much salt. Thank you for reminding me. So every recipe calls for kosher salt. And I looked it up, and why is everything calling for kosher salt? I couldn't find kosher salt, and there's a reason. It's kosher salt. Kosher salt has bigger crystals. So, here we got Himalayan salt. I bought some Himalayan salt. Spent a lot of money on it. I'm going to go for a tablespoon of it, and look at the big crystals. The recipe doesn't say how much salt. It just says kosher salt. So I'm going to go for a tablespoon. I think I already put pepper in. I'm going to put some more pepper in, because you can't go wrong with pepper. I got to put a nice heaping of paprika in it. Nice heaping tablespoon of that. I'm going to put some more pepper in it, because I like pepper. Can't go wrong with pepper. That was probably another tablespoon of pepper. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And of course, I always like sampling as I go along. So, just a little sample. Yeah, that's good stuff. Now, I'm going to put the meat. It's just about to boil. The meat is in. Where's the beef? Sorry, I'm sweating. It's like, I'm having fun. I told you by the end of the show I'm going to be on the floor here with this beer. 15%. $2. I splurged today. Yeah, I splurged now again. That's the number one commitment. Be kind to yourself. Treat yourself to a great bottle of wine, some great champagne, some caviar, a $2 beer. Treat yourself to fantastic stuff. Yesterday's history. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. It's a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. So enjoy every freaking day. And if you've been listening to my 578 days on the road, you probably are in a better position than you were before that, because it's just, don't take life so serious. Laugh at yourself. If you can't laugh at yourself, come on, that's ridiculous. Don't laugh. You gotta be able to laugh at yourself. And these episodes here are just for fun. You know, I mean, oh, he's not serious. Oh, he's... People will have their opinions. We all have butts and opinions. I'm going to make it clean tonight. We all have butts and we all have opinions. Keep it to yourself. No, if everyone thinks I'm an idiot right now, that's their opinion. That's fine. I'm having fun. I'm hopefully helping one person today by broadcasting this live. You know, as you can see, the phone's ringing off the hook with the calls coming in. If you're not an ambassador and you watch this to this point, you have to be an ambassador. An ambassador of kindness. It's boiling. Go on. Okay, so now that it's boiling, oh my God, you should see how it looks. Let me show you. Let me show you here. Okay, here we go. We're going live. There's the wine. There's the potatoes. There's the beer. There. Look at this. Look at this, guys. There's. Oh, look at that. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's going to be delicious. Now, let's see if I can get back on camera. Hello, everybody. So, again, I'm going to boil it. Boiling. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Oh. Turn it it down a little bit. And add the potatoes. Even though I said earlier that you shouldn't put them in until the last 20 minutes, trust me, if you boil a potato for an hour and it falls apart a little bit, it's part of the delicious stew. You need a whole potato to make your stew extraordinary. Believe me, the carrots will never fall apart and break down. They'll be nice and soft. People overcook stuff too much. They really, they overcook fish. They're so afraid they overcook the fish. They're so afraid it's going to get salmonella or what the hell it is. Have you ever eaten sushi? That's uncooked fish. I love steak tartare. Uncooked meat. The filet mignon I cooked for you guys last week, the week before. I literally cooked it for 1 minute. 30 seconds each side, just to give it a color on the outside. It was delicious. People just don't know how to cook. They're so afraid to cook. Don't be afraid. Learn. I've got 50 episodes of this stuff in the show. Okay, where was I? Oh, potatoes. You distracted. Now it's time for potatoes. Like that. Throw in some potatoes. So now, for the next, the meat was already done. So it says an hour and a half. I'm going to say hour at the most. Because it's not boiling anymore. Actually, it is boiling. I'm going to turn it down. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks good. I'm going to simmer it for the next hour. Okay, another taste test. Look at the richness of that sauce there. A little salty. Very salty, but I love salty. So, did I put too much salt? For people who don't like too salt, I put too much salt. But it's delicious. And the salt, maybe it'll cook itself out, I don't know. But it's delicious. I don't know what to tell you. So that's our episode for the night. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for all those questions that came in. Again, I'm Dr. Fantastic. Have fun in life. Have fun in life. Don't take it so serious. Laugh at yourself. Look in the mirror and say, I am fantastic. I am healthy. I'm happy. I'm successful. It doesn't matter what other people think. Stop being embarrassed. You should never be embarrassed in life. It's someone else's opinion. Keep it to yourself. Sure, they laugh at me maybe when I'm dancing out there, even though I'm a fantastic dancer. It doesn't matter what they think. I'm having fun. Doesn't matter what you think. You think I'm a lousy cook? That's your opinion. This is already delicious. The meat, I already tasted it. It's delicious. Potatoes, I can go wrong with a potato or a carrot. So it's a little salty. Tablespoon of salt. Maybe that's a little bit much. Maybe too much wine. I poured half a bottle of wine in. It's supposed to be 1 cup. It's water. It's lousy wine anyway. At any rate, have fun in life. Please, if you're not already an ambassador of kindness, please. You don't need to subscribe. You don't need to download. You don't need to. All you need to do is walk through life being kind. Being kind to yourself, being kind to others, being kind to the environment. Use less energy. Like if I put the top on it, it's better. I'm going to use less energy. Just consume less. Try to reuse, not recycle. I saw a guy refilling a 5-gallon bottle of water. It costs $1 here. Delivered, a 5-gallon bottle of water in Egypt costs $1. Delivered. And he's refilling it. So maybe it costs him half of that. God bless him. It's fantastic. The insanity of humanity. If people listen to me, and follow the 3 commitments, the world will be a different place. because you'll be accountable for your actions. You won't throw a cigarette butt on the ground, contributing to 4.7 trillion a year. You won't throw a plastic bottle on the ground, contributing to islands of I gotta write it down. Islands of plastic in the oceans. I finally gotta write that down. Beer's kicking in. I can only say so many times, people. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the half hour out of your life to watch this. You know, I know I didn't give an exact amount. Again, you know, these are packets. They just give flavor to it. 3 was fine. 4 wouldn't have hurt. 2 would have been okay. If you don't like garlic, don't throw it in. I use 2 tablespoons instead of 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. The top. The top goes over the tomato paste. And that's fantastic, right? Oh, look at that. It's going to save the tomato paste. And it's going to add to the landfills out there. In the old days, you used to bring a jug to the local vendor, and he would fill it with milk for you. And you bring it back, and you never even know it. It's going to end up that way again. You know, so we're going to revert back to tribes reusing, not recycling. Tribes living together in small communities, being happy. It's just too many people, man. If everybody was just following the 3rd commandment, which is being kind to the environment, the internet, are you calling in because I'm cooking this delicious lamb stew? I'm cooking live on YouTube right now, and you're my first caller. Okay, you're talking to me. Hold on. This is a very important call. Hold on. Everybody, very important. I'm his mentor. He's my assistant. I gave him a fantastic new job, and this is very important. So have a fantastic day, everybody. Okay, go ahead. Go. Oh, fantastic.